This is a Devo to go. Quick devotionals for everyday life. You know, as I got older, I realized that different people take different paths in life. I have people I grew up with that we used to have a lot of things in common. And as we got older, they decided to do different things and I decided to do different things. And we just took different paths. And, you know, some of it was bad for some of those paths, but some of it was just different, you know. What I'm going to talk to you about right now is not really just different, but it's right and wrong. Good road, bad road. We know there's some roads we take that are bad, right? Jesus tells his disciples, you know, first of all, the disciples, they chose to follow Jesus. They chose to go away from the cultural norms. And because of that, they chose to follow this leader named Jesus. They weren't going to fit in no more. They weren't going to fit in with the people around them, with their families. They weren't going to fit in with the culture and the village and the neighborhood in which they grew up in. They were going to be different because they chose a different path in life. And that was not easy. It cost to follow Jesus. Jesus is teaching Sermon on the Mount, and as he's preaching this sermon, he says in Matthew chapter 7, verse 13 and 14, he says, "Enter by the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And those who enter that way are many. But the narrow gate is the hard road that leads to life, and there are few that find it." What does that mean? That means that in life, you're going to have, per se, like a freeway and a rocky path. Freeway's nice. You can drive on it. You can put your car in cruise control. They got gas stations and McDonald's and all kind of great stuff. And it's smooth sailing. But imagine if that freeway that was smooth, that everybody's on it, multiple lanes, but it ends to just a cliff. Well, it's great until it's over. Jesus says that most people in the world are going on that freeway. It's fun. They're doing their own thing. They're living their life the way they want to live it and pleasing themselves and their own desires. But the end, it leads to destruction, separation from God. Jesus says, if you want to follow me, this road is not an easy road. It's a path. And it's not even in a car. You're going to be walking. You might even be barefoot. But there's other people that are walking and they're a couple steps ahead of you or maybe a couple steps behind you, but there's not many people on this road. It means that there are times that you may feel alone. I remember when I first made a commitment to follow Jesus, being a young person, on Friday nights and Saturday nights, I would know other people that were out partying, doing all kind of things that they probably shouldn't have been doing, and I would be stuck at home. And I wouldn't be stuck, but I would just be at home because I didn't want to live that type of life. You know, it was hard for me to want to go out and do stuff and be like everybody else. But God called me unto himself. You know, now here I am years later, and some of those people that made those decisions, some of them have wrecked their lives. They come to me now for encouragement, for advice, and for prayer. Remember, no matter where you may be in your life, that when you follow Jesus, sometimes you may feel alone, but you're not alone. There are other people following him as well. And always know that Jesus calls you to take a narrow path, not an easy one. Life ain't easy. If it was easy, probably everybody would do it. But it's not. And God's called you to do it. So let's walk on this path, following the Creator, and let's do it together. One right after the other. Let's do it.